wild stat. I saw this literally this morning. Colorado last month, the fifth, or it was either the fourth or the fifth most bet on sport was table tennis, ping pong. More than golf, more than hockey.
Table tennis?
Table tennis
What the fuck is table tennis?
Ping pong.
Oh!
It's time for Choo with Jay Sherga.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another ride here of Choo. Today I am joined by one very special guest. To my right, your left if you're watching on YouTube, we have Kyle Levy. Kyle is a horse racing and sports betting analyst. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Chase, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I love it. It's a long time coming. Me and Kyle have talked about this for quite some time. He was in the area, so we finally got him here.
I was an episode 1 listener back in the day. So
Love that.
I got you, man.
Love that.
First time, long time. That's the saying, right?
First time, long time. That's it. So, Kyle, I'm just going to get right to it.
Yeah.
So, literally, I got the part that I introduced you as a horse racing and sports betting analyst from your Instagram bio.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it's so funny because for a decent amount of time, I was trying to figure out what's like the best way to put this. Because one, I don't really have too much of a legitimate background when it comes to sports betting and horse racing. My background is I grew up in Saratoga or near Saratoga Springs, went to the racetrack a bunch growing up, and basically was a sports bettor growing up. In college, did a bunch of that stuff, and social media, kind of grew a small presence in the horse racing world online, and ended up getting hired by FanDuel. And then my role there was on-air talent talking about horse racing, but occasionally there would be the sports betting talk. So I figured, if I'm going to be putting something in my Instagram bio, why not say horse racing and sports betting analyst, just because it sounds legit.
I was going to say, it looks very legit.
It sounds and looks very legit, and I legitimately was one for a little bit, so
Sure.
I might as well take advantage of it while I can.
So you said you previously worked for FanDuel. What did you do before that?
I was at Barstool Sports before FanDuel. When I was at Barstool, I guess I'll tell a little bit of that story itself. So, huge Barstool fan growing up. You probably were.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, especially growing up in this area, Saratoga, like everyone knew what Barstool was in the Northeast, especially obviously like Boston, before it spread nationwide for the most part. So, like Dave, I would see him at the track when he was still like a Joe Schmo, whatever. I have a funny video of me like shotgunning a beer with him in like 2015.
Ah, no shit.
Yeah, at the track. And he would do that shit back then. He wouldn't do that nowadays. But I always wanted to work for Barstool. So when I'm in college, I was trying to get involved with them a little bit. Never really got the opportunity to. But Rough and Rowdy, you heard of that?
Of course.
Their boxing thing.
Yep.
Ended up being announced it was coming to Florida. I went to University of Florida. It was like Florida versus Georgia, Rough and Rowdy themed. I applied, made some stupid video, and I ended up getting accepted into the fight. Did terrible in the fight. Lost it, but after that, it gave me a little bit of connection.
So wait, you were on Rough and Rowdy? You were in a fight?
Oh, yeah.
And you got your ass kicked?
I didn't get my ass kicked. It was just an embarrassing fight. They were literally... Dave,
I didn't know that.
Dave and Big Cat were joking about how... Oh, I'll send you the clip after this if you want to like show it. It's funny.
Can I put it in this episode?
Absolutely.
I'd love it.
Screaming at each other. This is prelude to the world's greatest cocktail party tomorrow. So far, nothing landed, but you guys just yelling at each other.
Well, because after the first round, one, I was fucking gassed, man. I didn't train at all for this. I was told 2 weeks before the fight, like, hey, you're accepted, blah, blah, blah. I was in college, going out every night, was not working out, was not running out, zero endurance. So I didn't do any training. The first time I put on boxing gloves, the night of the fight.
No shit.
Yeah, I'd never punched anyone ever, but I knew I had to put on a show, and I kind of did. I did like cartwheels like on the way to the walking ring, and then after the first round, I look at Dave. Thankfully, I was in his corner where he was one of the judges, and I look at him. I'm like, hey, if I win this shit, can I get an internship? Blah, blah, blah. And he didn't even necessarily say yes or no, but I ended up losing anyway, so I didn't get the internship, but it gave me a little bit of contacts later on. I ended up getting involved in Barstool, Florida. So then if you don't know, every school, every like area has their own Barstool account.
Yeah,
so
every
like
college.
Yeah,
right?
every college has one. So Barstool, Florida was Barstool University of Florida's account. Got involved with that. They hire a lot of people that run those accounts just because they have a shit ton of people that do it, and then you can weed out the bad and the good ones from it. So position gets available. My buddy Sal Camiso, do you know Sal at all? Have you heard? Yeah. He sends me a job application for a thing called Barstool Bets at the time. And he's like, dude, this is right up your alley. It's a new thing they're launching, blah, blah. I applied, and somehow they actually accepted me. It was funny. My first week on the job, my boss, I was like, yeah, I got to go back and do like some stuff for my classes because I got hired after I was a junior in school. So I left before my senior year of college, moved to New York, whatever, still had to finish up online. My boss was like, wait, you didn't finish school yet? And I was like, nope. So I was pretty lucky to get hired, honestly. So that's my little story. That was a lot.
Damn, that's wild. So did you end up finishing school?
So I finished school online. I was at Barstool. I was doing boring stuff there, like product operation management stuff, whatever. At first, I was in charge of like Barstool Bets. They ran free-to-play contests, which was great. Actually, this is a good leadway into FanDuel. So part of my pitch for getting that Barstool Bets job was I used to run this thing called Levy Pool. Thousands of people for March Madness tournaments, brackets, NCAA tournament, Super Bowl squares, golf tournaments, you name it. We would do a bunch of random shit. That kind of got me the job at Barstool because it showed that I have, thousands of people. I'm able to put together these games, these contests, successfully run them. And that's kind of what I was doing when I first got hired for Barstool. They eventually turned that into getting bought by Penn National Gaming, so my job changed over time. But that's what initially got me involved there. Fast forward a couple years, I'm not at Barstool anymore. I ended up getting accepted. I accepted the job at FanDuel, doing the horse racing and sports betting stuff. That was awesome. Fast forward 10 months-ish, I'm no longer at FanDuel. So I'll tell a little bit of the story. Basically, stupid me, don't run March Madness pools and sports betting pools when you work for a very highly regulated gaming company. That's all I'll say on it.
Sure.
But yeah, so ultimately they found out, not even they found out, they were told, and I was no longer allowed. So I don't want to say illegal stuff, but don't do borderline stuff.
Everybody runs March Madness.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
That was literally one of the things I said when I was being questioned. I was like, yeah, you ever enter a March Madness pool?
Or fantasy football, pick'em leagues, all that shit.
I asked the lawyer that, and of course the lawyer did not respond. But but yeah, so unfortunate ending. Good thing is, one, I'm back in my favorite place, Saratoga Springs, during the best time of the year when the racetrack is going on. So I get to be back near home, friends and family, get to enjoy the good time of the year. And yeah, allows me to enjoy my summer and my free agency, explore my options.
Free agency.
That's what I love telling people. I'm not unemployed. I'm not unemployed. I'm a free agent. I'm exploring my options right now.
I love that.
It's a great way to make it not sound that bad.
I mean, if you think about it too, like, hey, what do you do for work? I'm a free agent.
Yeah.
Like, imagine me like, oh, I'm unemployed.
Well, because everyone else who's a free agent, like in legitimate like sports world, they're all getting paid millions of dollars anyway. So it's like, you're a free agent. It's like a good thing in the sports world. Right. So, hey, free agent.
Hey, you might get that call. Who knows, Just make sure your phone's on because you never know who's going to be calling.
Exactly. So the goal kind of with the horse racing stuff too, I guess I'll say the goal, I'm very, very passionate about that. But the one thing that I did recognize is that it's not necessarily the most lifelong thing. I didn't want to be talking about horse racing for 30 years. I wanted to expand into sports betting because obviously that's kind of where society's going nowadays, just with all the legalization of it. And now it's like everything is related to sports betting. So it sucks that I'm no longer with them because I wanted to use the horse racing to get into sports betting and whatever, see a career from there. But hey, we'll figure shit out. We always do.
You're a free agent, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, so if any of you are interested, hit me up. Hit my line. We got it going.
Instagram at?
Kyle Levy 123.
It's Levy.
Yeah, it does. He asked me before this if it was Levy or Levy, and I was like, it's Levy, but let's be honest, it should be Levy.
So it's Kyle Levy 123?
Yeah. Yep.
Kyle Levy, but yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, so that was a lot. I kind of just explained like my whole background for the past.
You asked me
years.
every question I was going to ask you. Podcast over. No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be something? All right, see you guys later.
I mean, listen, sports betting I could talk about for hours because there's so many different aspects of it in the sense that, one, it's just becoming everyone's life. Now, like,
my coworkers are addicted.
I think back to, I don't know if this is just me and just how my timing worked. When I was in college, let's say 6 or 7 years ago, it was not that big of a thing.
What was your major?
General business. So.
Okay. So just like one of those like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It was going to be finance, and then I switched when I got the job to Barstool Finance was a little more specific. I wanted to do something easier.
Sure.
Yeah, to finish up.
You were saying sports gambling wasn't what it used to be.
Yeah, well,
Or it wasn't?
It wasn't. Like nowadays, everyone is exposed to sports betting early and often. Like
Yeah, so it was
seems like,
not, and I'm not saying it wasn't what it used to be. Back then, it wasn't what it is now. Is
correct.
What I'm saying. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. That's
I fucked up.
That's what. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Or whatever.
No, you said it right. I fucked up.
That's okay. It's okay. We'll give you that one. But think about it. Well, just from a legality standpoint,
Sure.
in whatever it was, 2018, 2019, there was that bill that was passed. It made it not federally illegal anymore. So all these states start legalizing it. You can bet on like, you can anything. And say you're watching a basketball game, you can bet on like what the next play is going to be. It's crazy.
Insane.
And people are exposed to it at such a young age. And it's just, I will say it's scary.
It's addicting.
Well, it's absurdly
Gambling is a drug.
Ooh.
I love gambling.
wild stat. I saw this literally this morning. Colorado last month, the fifth, or it was either the fourth or the fifth most bet on sport was table tennis, ping pong, more than golf, more than hockey.
Table tennis?
Table tennis
What
was
the fuck is table tennis?
ping pong.
Oh!
So there's a bunch of
I like how he correctly said table tennis. That's funny.
gentlemen. This is sports. Come on, it's table tennis. No, I'm kidding.
Is that technically a sport?
Yeah, I mean it's in the Olympics.
That's ping pong.
Are you serious?
I'm a fucking idiot.
Bro,
Table tennis?
dude, I can't believe you haven't. It's crazy.
I see. I'm calling it by the right thing. Table tennis.
It's crazy what they do. But anyways,
They're like.
it's usually the late night stuff too. So like these people are up late at night just betting on table tennis because there's nothing else to bet on, and they're betting it significantly more than golf and hockey. Hockey, the freaking Colorado Avalanche, because this was in Colorado, the stats. The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup like last year. Like it's just wild to me that that much money is being bet on something that no one knows what they're betting on. Like nobody knows who Vladimir Svechnikov is, this random guy from Russia. You have no info on. You don't even know if this is his real name or whatever. You're probably just going to watch some live stream. No one knows who that is. You can't be betting on stuff you don't even know who it is. It's a little scary. It's a gray area that I don't necessarily love, and I think that it needs to just relax a little bit. I just think there's a lot of people who are probably betting more than they should and are a little in over their heads, and especially young people, just because like it's being exposed to a lot of people who are just still in college, don't have like a true income, but they see that their buddies are betting this shit, or they see online, because all the most successful social media posts with sports betting are these crazy parlays, these $10 to win 50 grand. And it's like, yes, they happen. Yes, it can happen to you. No, it is probably not going to happen to you. So,
right.
And there's a lot of people who think, well, I see this every single day. Someone is hitting something crazy.
It's going to be me.
It might be me. And there's way too much overconfidence and stuff like that. Me personally, like I've experienced that myself, like plenty of times where I'm betting these crazy things. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, this isn't smart and it's truly not responsible gambling. And that's kind of the gray area that I don't necessarily love with sports betting.
So now, table tennis, if you will.
Yes.
AKA ping pong.
Yes.
So, yeah, you said it's in the Olympics, which that's news to me. I don't really pay attention to
Dude,
the
they have the
Olympics.
craziest sports in the Olympics.
That's nuts. So, can I bet on ping pong if it's not in the Olympics? Like,
Yeah.
is it like on ESPN at 3
Oh,
in the
yeah.
morning?
And it's always Russia or like some crazy country, dude.
That's why I said Vladimir.
I'm telling you because from experience, I've been up at 3 a.m. betting on this crazy shit, like just because there's nothing else going on and I'm up and whatever, I'm a degenerate and I'll bet.
Oh, me too.
And so that's what it always is. And these people they keep playing. The matches last like 4 minutes because they're just playing till 11 or whatever, a couple rounds, and it's fast paced ping pong. So
Are they literally like, choo, 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 choo?
dude. It's unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
the first time I ever saw like ping pong in like a movie or like Hollywood or stuff like that was like The Longest Yard.
I thought you were going to say Balls of Fury.
Oh, I should
You
have said
remember
Balls
that
of Fury.
movie?
Yes.
Oh my God. I like that. That was a throwback that I barely remember that movie. I don't even remember who that main guy is, but he had the long curly hair and whatnot, little fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Walken was in that movie. Yeah. Throwback.
Christopher Walken.
Throwback.
But like The Longest Yard, you have he was a professional wrestler, the
Yeah.
great Khali, and he's like playing table tennis against himself.
Yes.
And he's just going like this and like
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. I had no idea you could bet on it.
People are nuts. You can bet on anything nowadays. That's what's wild. Freaking, do you know Reed Zanicki? So, anyways, buddy of ours, Mike and Kevin's.
Sure.
He used to swim. He went to college for swimming. He texted us yesterday and was like, "Hey, this guy in this swimming event, 100-meter backstroke, Hunter Livingston or Hunter something, American guy. He's plus 1,400 to win gold. This is the best, like, low risk, high reward bet I've ever seen in my entire life." The guy doesn't even qualify for the damn finals. We're all so excited for it. And honestly, swimming is a fun thing to watch in the Olympics. But
Sure.
yeah, he comes in like last place or something, or like 5th or 6th place. You have to come in like the top 3 or something.
So you didn't win any money.
No, absolutely not. And it's stuff like that. But it's fun stuff like that. And that is a fun side of the gambling too, though. The sports betting when you get one of your friends who, listen, Reed was a previous swimmer, so we're like, oh, he must know stuff about swimming.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
listen to him. Yeah, and then of course it doesn't.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. So you just sprinkle a little bit on it and you have some fun. Don't go too crazy. But yeah, shit doesn't always work out.
Oh,
It doesn't.
of course not. Like, see, I'm a big casino goer, and I see people lose their fucking lives at the casino.
All right,
you
what's
know?
your casino game?
Oh, I'm a slot machine guy. all
Okay.
day. I
Love
love, dude. Nothing makes me happier than sitting down at a slot machine, kicking my feet up just like this, got one foot up on the little ledge, and sitting there for 45 minutes just doing this.
Brother, I've been there. I
the
feel you.
best. And then I get a bonus, and I'm like, woohoo!
There's no feel. There's nothing like getting those 3 free spin logos showing up
my
on the
God.
thing.
And, ding, 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 ding. You're like, oh, here we go. And then some of them are so shitty. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, nothing makes me more mad than a terrible bonus.
Especially when you've been waiting for the bonus.
I know.
You've needed that
This
bonus.
machine
and
is
you're like, this
cold.
bonus is going to get me back up to even, or maybe it's going to be a good one. And then... And then, like, it's like maybe 10 free spins. The first 5 are absolute duds. The 6th is like $3. And then it's
And then your mindset, you're just like, oh,
you're like,
fuck.
done.
Yep.
Done. That's actually, yeah, that's a low of the casino.
And
for
on the
sure.
10th free spin, it's like $500.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's
That's
go.
huge.
You needed
That's
that.
huge.
Yes.
So I hate asking what's like your biggest or your best, but do you recall some of your best slot wins?
Actually, I was going to ask you that question, so I'm glad you asked me. My biggest slot win in one night, I won $10,000 on 3 different machines.
What?
Yeah, and this was 2 years ago.
That's actually sick.
Oh, it was
Saratoga?
Saratoga, yeah, because I work right next to that casino.
Yep.
So, like, sometimes after work, I get a little bored and I go over there.
Absolutely.
But it's crazy because, like, my first year gambling there, like, they got me hooked because, like, I think it was month 2 or 3 is when in that same night I hit a bunch of bonuses on a bunch of machines and won like 10 grand. And I brought in $500. So it was amazing,
That's
right?
awesome.
So then that's how they get you hooked.
Absolutely.
So then I'm going back like 5 out of 7 nights a week. And I get to the point where I'm like the 3rd out of 4th tier level on the rewards program. Like I'm getting free beers, I'm getting free hotels. I have 2 free cruises I won from them. Oh yeah, it was great. Until you get to the point now where like last year I was just losing. And I'm still to the point where like I'm losing. So now I only ever go if like I get some free play and I get a little email and
That's
it's
smart.
like, oh, $40 free play. I'm like, all right. So funny story. Was it Saturday or Friday night, a couple days ago, I got a $35 free play. And then, no, it was $20 free play, sorry. And I turned that $20 free play into $380. Stupid me. I'm like, yo, it's house money. I'm like, let's turn
keep
this shit.
playing.
I was like, $500. I was
Yeah.
like, I want $500 or zero. We got
you
this,
always
right?
set a number in your mind.
Yep.
And you
so then
never get it.
I keep losing. And I was like, you know, I'll stop at 200. I'll stop at 100. I swear to God, I'll stop at 50. Did I stop? No. How'd I leave? 0.
Of course.
And then I'm literally driving home and I'm like fucking gripping my steering
Yeah.
wheel. I'm like,
Pissed.
you dumb asshole. I know.
I respect the old women who that's all the slot machines are for the most part. Like,
Yep.
They show up. They go there with their $50 or whatever it is, $100, and when they lose it, they're done.
Yep.
And that's okay.
They're good.
They're good with that. They're content. I think that's awesome. I think it's hilarious that old women are the main demographic of slot machines.
Oh my God, yeah. And like my winning record though, compared to slot machines, blackjack.
Well,
But
of course.
I won't play blackjack at Saratoga because you don't have a real dealer.
100%.
So I hate
100%.
like the like
I ain't letting the computer figure out.
Right.
or
I hate the
determine
computer
mine.
roulette. I
Yeah.
hate the computer blackjack.
100%.
Like any table games, like I want a live dealer.
Yep.
So anytime I've gone to Rivers and played blackjack,
Knock on wood. Yeah.
I've won. So then again, I've only been to Rivers and played blackjack like probably 10 times. But
Only to come out winning every time is
It's pretty
Is a
sweet.
pretty whatever the word I'm looking for, insignificant statistic. What? No, that's not it. But you know, what
I
I
get
mean.
what you're saying. Yeah. So like, my dad's really good at blackjack as well. He's the one that taught me how to play. And he has this little card that you can like put right in your wallet. It literally goes like right like the size of a credit card, and it shows
chart.
you. Yeah, it's a little chart, right?
Yep.
And he told me, he's like, yeah, most dealers, they won't care if you have that little thing.
They don't.
They don't care.
They don't.
They want to see you win because
Correct.
then you tip them. They get some money, you know. Back to the slot machine thing real quick. Craziest thing that ever happened to me at Saratoga Casino. This is when I was in my 2 years ago when I was like winning like crazy and losing, and like after I won that 10 grand, I still had months where I'm up, I'm hitting things
for
like
sure.
crazy. Like that first year, like that I swear to God, one, they pump things in the fucking air. Like everybody knows that. And then they get you thirsty. So then you want to drink some beer. That's how they get you. But that first year, they knew exactly what they were doing. So, so during that first year, I go after work one time, and there was a slot machine called Fireball they got rid of. But it was there at the time, obviously, because I'm telling a story. Stupid Chase, what am I talking about? So it's like a Tuesday night, right? And the casinos are really popping on the weekends, not really during the week unless you're there for like track season.
Yeah.
So I get there, and there's Fireball used to have 10 slot machines, and I sit down at one of the middle ones. I'm there for like 2 minutes. Highest spin you can do is $2. I'm a big max spin. Max
love a max spin.
Got to do a
Yeah,
max.
It increases your chance at the free stuff. The
Right,
free spins,
exactly,
right?
and
Yeah.
then, or a bonus.
So
So you
we-
get the
so
highest
we
bonus.
say, yeah,
Got to
yeah.
do it. So we say. But anyway, so I'm doing my huge max bets at $2 a spin. I'm there for like 2 minutes. This lady walks over. I've told the story before, but I'm gonna tell it again because it's so fucking funny. Well, now it's funny. It wasn't funny at the time. Lady walks over. She's got an oxygen tank attached to her, like her walker and everything. Like the most typical, like chain smoking, like degenerate gambler that you see at the casino, 70, 80 years old. So she sits down, and people love to talk to you when they sit down at a slot machine next to you, right?
Yep.
And I hate it. I hate when people
Yeah,
talk
I'm
to me.
locked in.
Yeah, I am locked in. Don't, as my arm says, locked in.
There we go.
Don't fucking talk to me.
Shout
I'm
out
gambling,
Billy
right?
Floyd.
Shout out Billy Floyd. Love
Yes,
that.
sir.
So she wheels over, and she's breathing in her machine, right? And she does a couple spins, and she looks at me. She goes, I hate this machine. You either win or you lose. And I'm thinking to myself, no shit, lady. You either win or you lose. We know that, right? But anyway, I'm like, yeah, ha, 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 funny. So she's there for like another minute. Boom. Hits a progressive. Hits the highest jackpot for $124,000.
Shut the
Her
fuck up.
progressive doubles it to $248,000 directly to my right. So if I sat down at that machine, that could have been me, right? So she's fucking going nuts. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to pay off my grandkids' college. This is amazing. And I'm being really nice to her because I'm thinking like, oh, maybe she'll give me $100. I'm like, oh my God, congratulations. But I'm like sick to my stomach. So this person runs over to her after too with like the big check and like the picture for social
Shut
media.
up.
And she goes, oh my God, I forget what her name is. This is one of the biggest jackpots we've ever had in Saratoga casino history. And I'm like, oh my God, stab me in the fucking face. You're just making this worse. I didn't get $100 out of her.
Oh
but
my God.
The only reason I was rooting her on was because a couple weeks before that, I hit like I think it was like $3,000 on a green machine fucking.
The dollar ones?
Yeah, the dollar
Yeah,
ones,
the
the dollar
yeah.
green machines where they give the free plays and
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
So I hit that, and the lady that was sitting next to me, she's like, oh my God, I just ran out of money. Can I borrow $100? I got to get home. So I felt bad. I was like, yeah, I just hit a jackpot. Like I gave her $100, right? Did I leave after I hit that jackpot? Fuck no. I still was like, oh, let's win some more money. And guess who I see running around like 2 to 3 hours later? That girl.
same woman.
She's still running around. I'm like, that bitch.
Oh my God.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah, that was sickening though, bro. Like when that shit happens direct, like I just think like if that was me sitting in that seat.
I'm giving $100 at least.
Well,
To the person there.
Oh sure, yes, one that, but two, $248,000. That'd be pretty nice.
Oh my God.
I know.
The progressive doubling it. That's just basically like that. That's her taxes.
Yeah, and
Thanks for paying my taxes.
everybody I tell that story to, they're like, oh, you should have knocked her out and took the ticket. Imagine if life was that easy and I could have just been like,
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah, as if the million casino cameras aren't going to be.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, nah, maybe not.
Speaking of the casino cameras, so my first casino experience, I was 17 years old, not old enough to gamble, but there was a back way where you could go like through like the racetrack and then like sneak in.
Yep.
And like before they were
Yep.
hardcore about IDs, right? So I sit down at roulette was my big thing when I first ever went to the casino. I sit down at a table and there's $200 in the machine. I'm like, whoa. Then I had the good angel and I got the devil on my shoulder,
Yep.
right? I'm like, oh God. Well, do I get arrested? Do I take the money? So I cash it out and I bring it to the fucking cashier and I'm like, hey, this was left in a machine. They're like, oh, thank you so much. I tell my dad about it later. He goes, why did you not cash that out? Why did you not just cash it out and leave? And I'm like, I don't know. There's cameras everywhere. I'm going to get arrested. I don't know. Stupid me. I look back at it now.
Well, hey, you did what was right. I respect you for doing that. So at a casino, they're probably not going to do shit about it. When we go to Saratoga Racetrack, there's been multiple times where I've known someone who's left a voucher in a machine and they've gotten it back before. Like they've had someone report it and they've gone back to the machine. And
shit.
Yeah. And they've gotten it back. So people are a little more respectful at the racetrack, honestly. It's almost like how the picnic table area works. You know, how people go in early in the morning, they set their shit down, and then hours later they come back and it's still there. You're able to get your table. People are respectful at the racetrack. But yeah, casino, you should have taken the $200.
Yeah, I mean,
you should have hovered around there for a couple minutes, and then maybe if they come back.
Just waited, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was no player card in it either, so I'm like, oh, there's no way of tracing them, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to go to jail. I'm scared.
That's all right. Next time you might go.
And it hasn't happened since, but hopefully I'll hit that $248,000, and hopefully I'll find a voucher in a machine, and I'll just take it thanks to your donation.
There we go. Going back to blackjack. Are you a side bettor when you play blackjack? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not that. I'm not that great of a blackjack player.
Fair. Your father was?
Yeah, well, he still is. He loves blackjack. His winning record is definitely positive over negative.
Does he just play, or does he go more and count?
I don't know what that means. I'll have to ask.
Count cards?
Oh, I don't think counting cards. Yeah, the movie 21.
Absolutely.
I don't think he can count. Great flick. I don't think he can count cards, and if he can, he might as well share the wealth with me. Because
I won't go.
Can you count cards?
I've been kicked out of a couple casinos in Vegas.
So you can?
Yeah, I'm not allowed.
I'm going to Vegas in April. Can't wait.
I'm not allowed to go in. I'm not allowed to play blackjack at the Aria. That's one thing, and pretty much any MGM properties, which is a lot. And a couple casinos downtown Vegas, I was told, don't come back or we'll arrest you for trespassing. So that was fun.
So was it like the movies where they bring you downstairs and beat the shit out of you?
No, it's not like that at all, man. Some of the times they're nice. They'll just tap you on the shoulder and they'll be like, hey,
you're doing too good. Get the fuck out of here. We're
not going to let you play blackjack anymore. Sometimes they'll be a little bit meaner and say, get out of here, and if you come back, we'll arrest you for trespassing. But you played smart. It's legal. Doesn't matter.
So you asked me before what my biggest win was, so I told you. So what's your biggest gambling
biggest slot win was probably, I think, maybe 5,000 or so, because I've had a couple that were like 1,000, 2,000. I think 5,000 is probably my biggest, probably like a $5 spin-ish. I'm trying to remember what machine it was, but I don't know. I've had a couple couple $1,000 slot wins in my time. Biggest gambling win of all time, a couple years ago, was a horse race, pick six. So if you're not familiar with horse betting, pick six, it's basically a parlay, but it's 6 races in a row. You have to pick the winner of each race. You can pick a bunch of horses in each race, and one of them has to win, obviously. But the more horses you pick, the more expensive the ticket gets.
It's like when you box, kind of, right?
Absolutely, exactly. So similar concept, because it's basically just a bunch of different bets. It's a bunch of different combinations of bets. So did that, split it with 2 of my buddies. It was $132 ticket. I'm forgetting exactly. That sounded great, by the way. I'm forgetting exactly. $132, I'll say. $31,000 it paid out. Me and 2 of my buddies. So we both all.
Oh, so you put it together?
Yeah, we split the ticket, and I was actually in Vegas at the time by myself, and that hit, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, hell yeah!" Had a nice little spending money for the weekend. Yeah, so that was probably my biggest hit. Those are, dude. It's horse betting. Long run, you're probably gonna lose money. But short term, it's the one thing, it's similar to parlays. You know, a lot of people aren't going to hit them, but if you do, you're going to make a lot of money, and you can turn smaller amounts of money into very large amounts of money. So horse betting is definitely where I've had my biggest hits. Another one was probably about another $100 ticket. Solo won $14,000. And I'll pick 5, so 5 races in a row.
Damn.
Yeah. Crazy. Another horse story. When I was 8 years old, my family were all at the track. My dad and mom, they're saying, all right, pick a couple horses this race. So I picked 3 horses. My mom puts in the bet for a trifecta. So that's first, second, and third place. They have to come in.
Was it boxed?
Yeah. $2,200 when I was 8 years old. They didn't tell me until I was 18.
Oh, so they kept that shit. They were like, oh, thank you.
They kept that shit. And then when I turned 18, they gave me $1,000. And I said, what the hell, man?
Where's the other 1,200?
Yeah, and I was like, interest too.
Where's my $8,000? Come on, it's been that long.
Exactly. Throw that shit in the S&P and let me rack away. No, but that was awesome. So that was another cool story to get 10 years after it happened.
Well, I'm glad you said that because actually, one of my questions here on my little list was your first gambling experience. So would that be your first?
I wouldn't say it was my first. I mean, my
Before
first,
8 years old. Come
well,
on.
my first gambling experience, I honestly don't remember. Because think about it. This is like a popular thing at the racetrack or Saratoga or whatever. You'll go with your family, you'll go with your dad.
Hey, pick a horse.
Pick a horse. He'll put $2 on it. So I probably had that happen, whatever, for a couple of years before I was 8, just because I've lived up here my whole life. So, and I have 4 older siblings. So we've been going, whatever, every summer.
Oh, so you're one of 5.
I am one of 5. What
Me
about
too.
you?
One of
no
5.
way.
Yep.
Where are you on the list?
I've an older brother, 2 older sisters, and 1 little brother.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm fourth.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys all close in age or pretty spread out?
Both.
Okay.
Just close and spread
All
out.
right.
So I'm my dad's only kid,
Gotcha.
but my mom has 5 kids, so I'm one of my mom's 5.
Gotcha.
But anyway, back to what you were saying.
Yes. What was I saying?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, racetrack. I mean, it was just, so we would go when we were young and I would put the $2 on it.
So this experience you're talking about when you were 8, do you remember that? Do you remember that happening?
No.
Oh, you have no idea.
No, because they didn't tell me for 10 years after.
Oh, you didn't even know you hit?
No, I had no idea.
You wouldn't even know what that meant.
No idea. I guess
That's insane.
My first real big hit that was like legitimate. I was 16 years old. I was actually working. Have you ever heard of Camp Chingachgook?
Huh?
Yeah, okay, no. It's a camp. It's a YMCA camp, summer camp up in Lake George, sleepaway camp. Yeah, YMCA. Fun to stay at the. Yeah. Yeah. CHINGACHGOOK. Wow, that was wild. That was 10 years after.
You
too.
lost me when you spelled this. So can you say it for me again?
Chingachgook.
Chingachgook? Is that a
Basically.
town near us?
No, it's based on a Last of the Mohicans book or something like that. Have you
Oh,
ever
okay.
heard of that?
Well, Last Mohicans. Yeah, we got the what's it called here in Glens Falls?
Yeah,
The,
I don't.
What's the? Are you kidding?
I don't know.
Cooper's Cave.
There you go. Okay.
That was Last Mohicans.
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, well,
If I'm being honest, but I know Camp Chingachgook. I was a camper and I worked there.
who knows Cooper's Cave when you got Camp Chingachgook?
Exactly. Taught rock climbing, archery. It was cool. Anyways, I digress. So, worked there after being a camper there, whatever. I worked there. I was 16 years old, not old enough to bet, but I had my day off. What did I do on my day off? I drove 45 minutes south to Saratoga Springs and hung out with my friends and bet the horses. Luckily, one of my friends was 18 at the time because I hit, a trifecta, so top 3 horses, $12, paid $1,600. That you have to go to the IRS booth for, technically, just because it reaches
So you're getting the ticket, you're like,
limit.
here.
So I'm like, well, I can't cash this shit. Yeah, he cashed that shit for me, and that was my biggest hit when I was 16 years old.
Do they tax it on spot at the racetrack? Or?
They didn't for that, but some of them they do.
I've never had it at the casino where like because they say one spin over you went over $600.
Yep.
It's supposed to be taxed, but
Correct.
They give you the little like
They give you the tax form, and then you have
right.
to do it
on your
You have to do it
taxes.
yourself. I'm sure at the casino there's probably a limit to where they do take the taxes. I'm only saying that because one of my buddies, his name's Derek. He couple of years ago, opening day of the track, he hits a pick 6 for $92,000. Yeah, and so yeah.
So they taxed it for him.
He doesn't get the money that day. They tell him, "Can you come back tomorrow morning?"
Oh,
so
yeah.
So he goes back tomorrow morning. They give him like a security guard, and they gave him all the cash, but they tax the federal winnings right off the rip. So he went home with $69,000. Nice.
I was gonna say that.
So he went home with $69,000. That was federal. So then after that, he then had to also pay New York State taxes when he was going through the tax season. So they took the federal at that point. So there must be some limit where they're like, okay.
I would
we're
just like it
taking
a lot
off the
more
rip.
if they just tax it right on the spot.
Me
so I don't have
too.
to worry about it
Me
later.
too.
Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah. And I'm okay with taxing when you're winning $100,000 or something like that.
that's
I'm fine.
okay. Right.
I'll pay it.
But I see it on
I'll
my
pay it.
paycheck, and I'm like, oh, fucking New York State.
But I will say, with the slots, bro, sometimes I'm like, just stop. If it's gonna be, because I think is it 600 or it might
Yeah,
be.
so if
it
you-
might be 1,000 or something.
No, it's
Is it
600. Trust me,
Okay.
I know from experience.
Okay, well there you go. So
$600 on one spin.
So if you're gonna get paid $605, you're like, fuck this. Give me $595. Give me $595.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, stop. Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I'll get a bunch of free spins, and then like, I'm like, oh, we're gonna hit 600. I'm like, no, stop. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have to get that tax form.
But at the same time, I appreciate when like I get the little bells and whistles, and it's like over $600, and like it prints out the thing where like see the attendant, because I'm
brother,
like, I can't spend this.
there ain't nothing better than getting
Oh my
100,
God.
200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 1,000.
I'm like, yeah, I'm so horny right now. Keep going. Don't stop.
Don't stop, baby. Don't stop.
Please. Oh, 2,000. I love the people at the casino too, like the old people especially, that are like sit there on the machines and like push everything. Like that has anything to do with it. It has no effect.
How much do you play into the? How much do you change your spin denomination? Do you ever do that?
I do now. I'm new to that.
Oh, I'm a big time now. I'll be like, all right, let's mess around with this $1.80, blah blah blah. Couple fails, go down to $1.40. Couple fails. All right, we're bumping it up to the $2 one
Dude,
now.
I noticed people started doing that. I'm like, why are they doing that? And they're hitting because like the 180 is getting cold, so they go up to 225. They go up to $5, and they're just going
Brother,
writing down.
It's so funny because at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't make a fucking difference. Every single spin or button press is a completely random thing itself, and
It's
it has
crazy.
nothing to do with the previous results. It's crazy how slot machines work, and they're also, I believe, I'm pretty confident about this, they get the most revenue from the slots.
Oh
in the
my
casino
God,
by
yeah.
far.
Of course. Like I
far.
was saying before, who doesn't love to just sit at a slot machine
Yep.
and just, dude, I'll literally, the second I sit down, I put my player card in, I put my money in, and then I take that volume thing and I put it all the way to the fucking
You
top.
go to the top?
All the way.
Oh, you're a bold
I
motherfucker.
fucking love it. I want everybody to know
Oh,
I'm
you're a
winning. I want
bold
everybody.
motherfucker.
The
I-
second I have a bonus and you hear ding, 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 free spins, I want everybody, look at me. I got the fucking free spins.
Another psychology thing, I do think that if you're on mute, you have a less chance to win.
Yeah, of course. You gotta hear it.
Which
You gotta
I
hear it.
don't think is fucking true, but I think is
Yeah.
fucking true.
It probably does not matter. It does not matter.
I'm a mid-volume guy though, because I don't want to be giving my stuff away.
Oh, I want everybody to know. I want everybody to know. And if the chair has vibration, if it's a newer, I'm like fucking turn the vibration on top. So if I'm this one machine at Saratoga was like Sex in the City or Sex and the City, whatever the fuck the right term is, I always forget. And everybody gets it confused. This chair had vibration, right? I'm like, well, this is cool. Has level 1, 2, 3, right? I'm like, ooh. So I turn the chair vibration on max. I
That
turn the
one's for the
volume on max.
ladies.
3 spins in, I know, but it's okay because 3 spins in, I hit a bonus. I win like $1,500. I'm like, yeah, vibrate me. My chair's going. I was in for it.
Oh my god!
And now the machine's gone. It's like the good machines, they take them out and replace them with the shit ones. It's
They
unbelievable.
do. You my favorite Buffalo.
Oh, I love Buffalo. Those Buffaloes come through and it's like jing, jing,
Oh
jing,
my
jing.
gosh! It's hard to hit. Those
I
Buffaloes
know.
are hard to hit though.
You know what I hate too? I hate like those games where like there's multiple of them too, where they have like the 3 pots. One's like free spins. One's like a
And
fucking
the
like,
piggy banks.
Oh, the
Yeah.
piggy banks, for example.
Yep.
Yeah. And you sit on a machine and you're like, oh, this thing's about to go. No, man, there's no way of telling.
Lord
You could
have
do
mercy.
this thing could be empty, and a couple spins in, you fucking break the piggy bank. You have no idea, but it's just a visual. You walk through and you see like that thing's about to fucking crack, and you're like, oh, this is the
Damn
one.
Hey, there are few there are a few slots like that where there actually is a progressive number
Where it's
like,
gonna go up,
actually
yes.
has to, and you'll notice some people like scoping those out and just waiting for someone to be an idiot and like let it be, because there
Right.
literally are like the Buffalo one, maybe it'll be like 1,200 Buffaloes you have to collect before it has to hit. If you get on that machine when it's at 1190, you're guaranteed to get the free
Right.
spins in the next few whatever.
But
like,
some of them aren't.
but the vast majority of them aren't like that.
Oh,
yeah.
it makes me so mad.
Yeah.
I hate when I'm at a slot machine, because you just mentioned it, where like people are scoping them out, and I'll be sitting and the whole row is like busy, right? And there's people just standing behind me,
I
just
hate
watching
it.
me.
I hate it.
What are you looking at, bro?
I hate it.
Go fly a kite.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
Get out of here. Get out of here. This is just keep talking about slot machines.
I know. I can talk about them all day.
The Mirage, you ever heard that? It's a
Yeah.
casino in Vegas. It just closed July 17th. On July 17th, they had all of these slot machines had these progressive jackpots that needed to go. People were fucking camping out at the Mirage, selling their seats at a slot machine for hundreds of dollars because, say, the prize is $1.2 million or whatever that needs to go out in the next 12 hours. Someone has to hit it.
Right.
They were literally selling their seats at a slot machine because it needed to go.
That's actually fucking smart.
It's
if you think
very
about it.
smart.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
That's insanely
it's
brilliant.
absurd. But yeah, R.I.P. the Mirage. It was a great casino. Stayed there a couple times. Hard
Damn.
Rock property. It's going to be one of the big guitar hotels now in a few years.
How many times have you been to Vegas?
6.
Nice.
Wild. I have never been drunk in Vegas,
What?
and I've been 6 times.
That's actually really smart, because I'm going in
Crazy.
April for WrestleMania.
Oh, that'll be
and
sweet.
It'll be real sweet, but like I made sure that I'm only going for 3 nights.
Well, smart.
Yeah, because if I'm there for like 5 nights to a week, I'm
Smart.
losing my house. But
It happens. That'll happen.
oh, of course, right. And like Vegas is just like another animal. I hear like there's people like walking up, do you want a drink? You want a drink? And you were just like, no, thank you.
Well, I use the
How
term,
do you not get
I
hammered
use the
in
term
Vegas?
drunk because I'd have a couple beers, but I never got to the point where I was like hammered. And I never went out. I never went to like a club. I never went to like one of those cool.
Oh, fuck that. I wanna
cool
go to the
parties.
casino.
That was me, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm in Vegas to gamble.
I got 48 hours here. I'm gonna spend 46 of them at a table or whatever, like some crazy shit like that.
Actually, my only Vegas experience, because I've been to Vegas, quote unquote, was when I went to LA with my friends back in 2016, and my layover from Albany was at Vegas, right?
Okay.
So I get right off the fucking, right out the gate,
And you go
there's
to the
slot
slot
machines.
machines.
They're in the fucking bathroom.
You know
They're
what?
in the bathroom.
That was the coolest thing, getting out of there though, because you see it in the movies, you see it on TV.
I couldn't believe it.
And then you get out and you're like, holy shit. And the smoking section, did you see that?
No.
There's a smoking area in the airport. You can smoke, and it's slot machines. So it's literally like a glass fucking room that you can see inside of, and there's people just ripping slots, ripping cigs.
Ripping darts, baby.
Ripping darts, ripping slots, hopefully making money, not missing their layover. But
Yo, when I'm hammered, I'm the worst person. I'm like, yo, can I bum a cig? Yo, give me anything. I'll smoke anything when I'm drunk. It's so bad.
Kind of did a little. No, I never really did. I mean, in college,
I hate
every
cigarettes.
so often.
I hate them.
But yeah,
if I'm
not a
drunk,
big-
give me a fucking cigarette.
That's
I'll
fair.
be like,
a drunk cig. They hit different.
they do.
They do.
Especially when you're gambling.
That's
But,
true,
dude.
And you got just the smokers just blowing it all around. It's just
yeah.
It's just a casino vibe.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
I know.
just- the black and milds are funny in the casino too, because there's a different specimen that smokes the black and milds versus the.
That's an animal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bro, you walk in and you smell the smoke and you're like,
We're back, baby.
yeah, I'm here.
That's
we
why they
are.
need to pump the fresh oxygen because it's
it cleans it out. But bro, dude, in the Vegas airport, my layover was like 2 hours, and like just getting out of the gate and just seeing the slot machine, I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And then I go to the bathroom, like, what business does a slot machine have to do in the fucking bathroom?
people are crazy.
Insane. And there's like an old dude literally hitting the slot machine in the bathroom. Wild. I
Hey.
lost $300 like that though.
I'm not one to regulate things. I'm a big hands-off guy. One thing that I think should be regulated, you shouldn't be able to play slots on your phone, which is a thing. Not in New York, you can't do it, but in New
If you have a
Jersey,
bookie, you can.
Well, correct. Offshore stuff you can, but freaking FanDuel and all these places, man, they got online casinos, and it's like, dude,
It's
this is-
dangerous.
at any second of the day, someone who has a problem is just going to be ripping this shit, and it's like,
yeah.
At least if you're going to a physical casino, you have to drive there or whatever, take an Uber or something and get yourself there to play the slot machines. And then you run out of your money and you're good. But when you can just rip it on your phone, deposit in seconds, it's a scary game.
It's funny you say that because not this year, but the year before, last year. That was a weird way to say it. But last year, I went on a cruise with my ex-girlfriend, and I won that cruise at the Saratoga Casino, right?
Wild.
Yeah, I know. Wild. But so I won like an inside cabin, and I was like, oh, I'm going to upgrade it. Got like a balcony and everything.
Yeah.
I ended up paying like $3,200 for the trip. But so I bring $500 in cash because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to gamble at the casino. Of course, I got to. Run out of money like this, but I'm hammered. It's fucking unlimited drinks and
Yeah.
shit. Like I'm drunk, and me gambling drunk is the worst type of person. Like I'm just like, yeah, like I'd be like ATM. These things on these cruises, bro, you run out of money, and they're like, oh, do you want to recharge your cabin?
Oh.
And I'm like, you know what? Don't mind if I do. So every time you do a transaction and charge at your cabin, they charge you another $15 processing fee just because, right?
That's even worse than the ATM.
Way worse. I should have gone to ATM. So I'm so drunk and I'm like, I'm losing. Dude, you go to any casino in the world and you hear ding, ding, ding over there, ding, ding, ding over here. People are winning. On these cruise ships, it's silent. Like offshore, like, dude, the winning ratio is not nearly as high as a
Oh my
regular casino.
gosh.
But me, I'm like, I'm going to get it back. I had no idea how much money I spent. I woke up the next morning, hungover shit. And on a cruise ship, you can like turn on your TV and look at your account balance, right?
What?
Yeah, so you see how much money you spent, and like you have so when you first get on the ship, you got to give them a credit card, which anything you do on the cruise is charged to that credit card at the end after the 7 days. So I'm at, I think it was $4,500 plus whatever other shit we bought, and I'm like, oh my god. So that means I did refill, and then eventually went back to my room and fell asleep. I thought I just refilled 3 times. No, it was like 7.
Oh no.
$4,500 in refills, plus the $15 charge every time I add $500. I woke up and I was sick. I was so mad at myself. I was like, how did I spend $5,000? Oh my God, this is so bad. So then the last night I was like, all right, $500 more. We got this. We're winning it all back.
I hope this has a good ending.
Lost it.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. So so it was like $5,000 in total in gambling that I spent. I learned my mistake there. That was like, yeah, that's why we don't drunk gamble, Chase.
Yeah, it's it's tough. It's tough. Trust me, I get to that point. It happens.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. That's the only thing. I absolutely love sports betting and gambling.
Sure.
It's my favorite thing to do. I absolutely recognize you got to be careful with it.
Gotta be fucking smart, man.
That's all I got to say to people. That's all I got to say to people.
That's all he's got.
Be
So actually,
responsible.
we're gonna rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
So what actually got you into like horse betting and sports gambling and
Yeah.
like making a career out of it?
Good question. I mean, growing up, I was
Family in the track.
I was a degenerate too, and yeah,
Yep.
family in the track. It introduced me to a different side of sport or just betting that a lot of people aren't exposed to. And I say this all the time: if we didn't grow up, or if I didn't grow up right near Saratoga, one of the best premier tracks in the country, I wouldn't be into horse racing at all.
Sure.
I'm not positive of that, but I'm pretty sure. There's a reason that I like it, just because growing up every summer, it was a cool memory, and I would go once a year with my family. Then later on in high school, I'd go a couple times with my friends. College comes around, I'd come home for the summers, and I would be going as much as possible because my parents moved to Saratoga right after I graduated high school, so I was right around the corner. And then I kind of just started realizing this could potentially be like a future for me, like something to get me more involved. So COVID happened. They weren't letting people at the track. I don't know if you remember this. So
Yep.
COVID happened. No fans were allowed at the racetrack. The only people that were allowed were owners and trainers and jockeys or whatever, the workers, of course. So my bright idea, how do I get to Saratoga? Well, I guess I'll buy a horse.
No shit.
So I didn't buy a full horse, but my cousin, who's had a couple horses in the past, I hit him up and he got me involved. So I bought 10% or 5% of a horse. Or
I have some
whatever.
friends that have that, yeah,
Exactly.
and they can go down to the winner's circle
Exactly.
and shit. Yeah.
So I was an official owner, and then I got to go to the track for one day during COVID when no one did, and that was awesome.
And you get the little card and shit, and you're like,
Oh, yeah,
you're
I
like,
got-
oh, look at me.
It's the greatest thing ever, dude. Now I get to go. It's $10 to get in. I don't have to pay because
It's $10 now?
Now it's $10. Crazy.
It was $3 back in the day.
You're damn
Holy
right
shit.
it was. You're damn right it was. And now they keep adding to it.
I remember they bumped it to $5. I haven't been since it was $3.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. So it's $10 now. But yeah, so get in for free. But anyways, yeah, got involved in the horse. That was a really cool experience. And then from there, I was kind of like, all right, I guess I'll just keep doing this. So actually, this is funny. I didn't really wear this on purpose, but this Saturdays in the Spa shirt, if you're listening, I started this website called Saturdays in the Spa, basically as a way to, it was like a blog. It was also, I was planning on doing video content for it and gave out picks for Saratoga. So I'd give my analysis of the races, tweet it out and whatever, try to grow a little bit of a brand. Did that for a little bit. When I was working at Barstool, actually, they had two people, Paul LaDuca, he used to be on the Mets. He's now working for Fox Sports. He does some of the analyst for here at Saratoga now. He was working at Barstool too, and another guy called Blackjack Fletcher. They would do like some streams and whatnot. They would invite me on. So that was kind of like my first exposure to getting my name out there and stuff. And as the couple years went on, I started spending a lot of money trying to make connections. So I would go to all these different races in Kentucky, in Florida, up here in New York, and just kind of travel, meet new people, as many people as I could, get my name out there. And the good thing about horse racing is there ain't too many people in their 20s that are very into it.
Sure.
Genuinely.
Definitely older people.
It's a very big older people thing. There's not too many people who are really passionate and enthusiastic about it. And I recognized that. So I used that to my advantage and ended up making these connections. Someone who works at FanDuel I met him. He gave my name to his boss, and I ended up getting this job interviewing a couple times and whatnot. And they got me. So that was the greatest thing that ever happened, whatever, at the time. Now I'm no longer with them, but it set me up for this career in horse racing and hopefully in the future sports betting in general. And just getting that experience was so cool. Dude, walking onto the FanDuel set, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is wild. Like, freaking, I told you before this, like, the show before us was Kay Adams and, like, Lou Will and Chandler Parsons, who were, like, they were in the NBA. Like, it was very cool. So it was a very awesome experience. And I absolutely love FanDuel. I have no hatred or
No
whatnot.
ill will.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I don't think they have any on mine either. I think it was just kind of a
How old are you?
26.
Oh, damn. Okay, so I'm 30. Damn,
Yeah.
That makes me feel old, but you've experienced a lot of life for 26 years old. Holy shit.
A little bit. You know what's crazy? I did this math because I was filling out some form recently, and it asked me for all my addresses since 2019. Like every place that I've lived since 2019, I had 9 different places
Jesus.
since 2019. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I moved from, because I moved from.
Even in 10 years, that's a lot.
Because in 2019, I was still in college. So I went from living in Florida, I moved to New York City. COVID happened, I moved back down to Florida. After COVID, I moved back to New York City, then I moved to Saratoga, and then I moved down to Tampa, and then I moved to LA, and now I'm back here. So it's like, yeah, I'm all over the place.
Shit.
It's been a fun experience. I like doing things. Now I'm in this weird stage where I'm trying to figure out what my next step is, though.
Well, because you're a free agent. You're
I'm
waiting
a free
for the calls.
agent. I'm waiting for the calls, and I'm trying to figure out when I plan something. When I get my eyes on something, I don't want to say I usually accomplish it, but I try my hardest, and
You go out and get it.
I do. I like, as stupid as it sounds, like the rough and rowdy thing back when I was
that's
a freshman.
crazy.
Like I was like, I need to be in this, so I filmed a video in the swamp, like in the University of Florida Stadium. Like, it's stupid as hell, but like looking back on it, I was just like shotgunning a beer in the stadium, blah, blah, saying all this crazy nonsense to the camera. It got me in, and whatever. I do whatever to try to accomplish what I want. Right now, I don't necessarily know what I want to do, so I'm in this weird free agency period.
I love that. So real quick, back to the rough and rowdy thing, because I forgot to ask you before.
Absolutely.
When you first got punched in the face, what did that feel like?
Surprisingly not that bad.
Oh, you're like, oh, mosquito. Come on.
Oh, well, it was bullshit because the gloves were big and
they're huge, right?
And we were wearing headgear. Mm-hmm. They don't do it for most of them for whatever reason they did for that one. We were wearing headgear, so I was totally fine getting punched in the face. I just didn't realize how exhausting it was. I had no...
They'd be swinging for the fences.
Brother, I had no idea. Big Cat, in like the middle of the second round, he goes, folks watching at home, this fight, it is not in slow motion. He literally said that, and I'm just like, well, yeah.
Could you hear him say that?
No, after the fact, yeah.
Oh, you're like, oh.
Dude, I was absolutely gassed after round 1. After round 2, I was like, I'm just get through this fight. Because I knew I wasn't going to get knocked out. The other kid was gassed too. But he ended
So you lost by decision?
Yeah. And it was probably the worst fight that they had tonight. If I'm being completely
can't wait
honest.
to see this.
It was terrible. I'll send you the video for sure. After.
So your fight record is 0-1.
I'm 0-1. But hey, I always like saying, hey, I was in an amateur boxing event once. So.
I mean, most people say they're 0-0.
You want to try and kick my ass? Dude, I've been in a boxing match before.
I've been in a fight.
Yeah. It was the ugliest fight of all time. But hey, I was in one.
That's so funny.
It was a cool experience. Yeah, I've had some fun shit happen. I got something fun going on right now. I told you.
Yep.
So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Give the listeners blue balls right now. But
yeah, I'll give you. Yeah,
you guys will find out eventually.
Yeah, hopefully.
I love that. That is some fun shit, by the way.
I'm very excited.
But so pretty much the last question I have here for you goes back to horse racing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, back in my days of going to the track, now I just pull up like TVG or like any of the apps.
Absolutely,
sure, I work right by the track, but I could just like watch it on my phone and gamble, right? It's all luck for me. I mean, I'm like, usually what I do if I'm doing a trifecta is I'll pick the 2 favorites and then someone in the middle or something like that, and hopefully it hits.
It's fun.
I'm a big believer that when it comes to horse racing, bro, and you're probably going to correct me because you're.
So I think I know where this is going, and I think I'm going to surprise you by not correcting you.
Continue. I think it's luck.
Because it is.
It is luck, right?
It's ridiculous. They're fucking horses. They're animals. They could have a bad day. Like anything could happen. You could have the best horse in the world going up against whatever people who he's much better against. Something could happen in the gate right in the beginning that takes him out of the race. Like
they're flipping out and shit, and then they get scratched.
And then not even get scratched, but like sometimes they just like the gates will open and the horse just won't necessarily go from the rip. And then he's like in the back of the field by a lot. And you can't make up a bunch of ground in these horse races sometimes. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. There's no lock. There's no necessity. Like, yes, you can know who are the better horses, who's probably going to run faster, who's probably going to be able to get the distance. But no, at the end of the day, bro, you ain't making money betting horse race. In the long run, it is very, very hard to make money in horse racing.
It's got to be, right?
And I know I'm not advertising it well. It is a lot of fun to bet on horse racing. You can bet $10 and potentially win hundreds or thousands of dollars, but there's a very low % chance of that happening.
Dude, you go to the track and people are like, come on, let's go! Like screaming and shit.
The best characters in the track. And you know what? It's fucking hilarious because you see the people who are just sitting on their lawn chairs or whatever, sitting on their picnic table, wearing jorts and betting and whipping themselves.
Yeah, whipping themselves.
Betting their $2, and they're going crazy. And then the total opposite end of the spectrum, you see the fucking millionaires who own the horses and whatnot. They're still doing the same shit too. Like they're still whipping themselves. They just have a lot more money on the line. It's total ends of the spectrum. And hey, horse racing's been awesome because I've met a ton of people through it. A ton of people who I never would have been friends with if not for horse racing. Funny enough, a lot of them are in their late 30s or 40s and whatnot, just because that's horse racing, the demographic. Right. But hey, there's a lot of great people. There's a lot of great things that go into horse racing that people don't necessarily know. And people might be against it, like whatever. Animal cruelty shit, PETA shit. You see the protesters out on the track. Bro, if I could die and come back as something else, I want to come back as a retired racehorse. Because those motherfuckers, their job is to fuck and get paid and get treated like a king.
Like a king.
Like a king. Yeah, that would be what I'd want to do. So those horses, and Kevin Warnken, he said this to me, he says this to everyone. If they didn't want to run, they wouldn't fucking run. They're 1,200-pound animals, and they can throw the jockey off their back. They would just run away if they wanted to. No, those fuckers, they want to run. So
that's a great way of saying that.
It is, and it's so simple, but it's so true. Those horses could fuck anyone up that they wanted to.
Like really, if they wanted to just like run for the fences, they could force Gump their shit out of there.
100%, 100%.
But they're going around and around and around.
Hey, some of my favorite shit about Saratoga, just by the way, small, whatever, tidbit, the backstretch, the areas, the morning stuff, I'll go before the races even start and just kind of weasel my way through the barns and just see what's going on, see all the grooms taking care of these horses, see all the work that goes into it. It's crazy. So many people who wake up at the crack ass of dawn to get paid shit to take care of these horses and watch them hopefully win some races.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool. It's a cool industry.
Do you buy the program?
Yeah, thank God. Shout out my previous employer. I still get free programs because of that. So nice. Hopefully for the next, I don't know, what is it, July? Hopefully through this year I still get the free programs because that's the one thing that's stupid about horse racing. You got to buy a program to look at the horses.
Now do you like look at the program and study it to make your bets?
Yeah, I mean that was a huge part of my job.
Dude, I get a fucking program. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what do I do here?
Well, fair, because it's a shit show. It's a bunch of numbers and shit that you have to be taught. You have to spend 15 minutes learning how to read a program.
Dude, this shit tells you too, like, this horse is really good when in dry. This horse is really good when it's wet and stuff, and it's like unreal.
Fucking nuts. They tell you how their mama did, how their dad did in their previous race, how their half-sister did, how this horse did in this race. Did it have a bad start, a good start? All these crazy numbers. At the end of the day, none of it fucking matters.
It's fucking luck.
It's, dude, like, come on. Yeah, you can know who's probably going to win the race, but the horse was going to be the big-time favorite, and you're not going to make any money off it. So, stuff like that. But, yeah, horse racing, it's a very fun thing to bet on. Sports betting, you're probably going to be a little bit better in the end, just from a not going down standpoint.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, now, what would you say is next for you in the next couple of years?
To be determined. I want to get into, obviously, so not to get like sad, it sucks that I was let go from FanDuel because that was such a good experience and such a good...
You were put into free agency.
I was put into free agency, exactly. So there's not necessarily anything better than FanDuel when it comes to the horse racing world. Good thing is I had that experience. I can make a reel and put together some of my stuff and be able to show, hey, this is what I did. This is what I'm capable of doing. And I can send that out to other people and hopefully get into some sports broadcasting stuff somewhere else. If it ends up being somewhere local, if I have to start something a little smaller, hey, I have to start something a little smaller and take a step back before I take a couple steps forward. But we'll see where it goes. So I'm not sure. But hey, the world's my oyster, brother.
I love that.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna
try. And for the most part, God, I sound like such an arrogant asshole right now. For the most part, things have worked out. I'm a big Entourage fan. Are you an Entourage guy or no? Nope. Damn it.
Nope. It's on my list of shows to watch.
You should watch it. It's incredible. Big friend, whatever show. But main guy, Vinny Chase, he says in it frequently. He's like,
what's his last name?
Vinny Chase.
Now I gotta watch it.
Now you gotta watch it. Exactly. So big line. He says it like multiple times throughout the show. It'll all work out in the end. It always does. I've been saying that ever since I heard him say that in the show. It'll all work out in the end. It always does. Right now it has. I'm damn fortunate it has. I'm damn fortunate for a lot of the things that have come up in my life that I'm able to put my support with or people who are supporting me. It'll all work out in the end. It always does. So I'm confident. I stay positive. Always.
What a great fucking answer.
Stay humble, stay hungry, stay positive.
I love that. I think that's all I got for you tonight.
Hey.
Brother, we crushed that.
We did.
That was fun.
I was happy. I enjoyed this a lot.
That was awesome.
And the audience doesn't know this was our first time actually meeting in person.
True story. Yes.
We've been talking over the years and whatnot.
We followed each other for a while,
Yeah.
but this is our first time meeting in person. I think we fucking crushed it out.
I'm very happy, man. Thank you for having me. Seriously.
And yeah, you guys might not notice this, but when I do some editing, I'll let you know. The power actually went out. We had a thunderstorm roll through this bitch.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't know if you wanted to say
I
it
don't
in the
care.
podcast.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it was so great.
Yeah, so like we were just running it.
Let's see if they'll be able to, if anyone's able to figure out when the cut is.
Yeah, let's see. What
At
you guys
some
notice.
point in the podcast, the power went out. So I will say it. I had to repeat a sentence.
Yes, he did.
We'll see if people notice where it is.
Well, yeah, that's a test for you guys. So leave in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, all that good shit.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely. Chase, seriously. This was awesome.
This was
so
fucking
thank
fantastic.
you so much for having me.
Yo.
This was actually my first legitimate podcast appearance, now that I think about it.
Did you have fun?
I had a spectacular time, brother.
A spectacular
time.
I love that.
Choo choo, baby.
Choo, baby.
Fucking choo.
Yo, if you're down
Blue
for
Chew.
it, Blue Chew. I love Blue Chew.
Shout out boners.
Shout out boners. If you've never had a Blue Chew, they don't even sponsor me. Take a fucking Blue Chew because you will fuck like a rhinoceros. Trust me. But, honestly, that was so fun. I might pick your brain a little bit later and have you back on, and we can talk gambling even more.
I'm always down, brother. I could talk gambling, sports betting, casinos for fucking hours.
You guys can see how excited I got. Like we were just going back and forth. A lot of times with these episodes, I got to do a bunch of editing and shit, but we were just bouncing off each other like gambling, fucking slot machines, all that shit.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I didn't spew too much. Sometimes I can do that. I didn't take my Adderall before this either, so that was a good thing.
I took my Adderall right before this.
Smart.
But still, I'm gambling like a wild animal, so whatever. But I'm telling you, this will be great. And yeah, we'll see you nerds next time.
Hey, peace.
Oh, wait, actually, before I do that,
yes,
this is like a Marvel movie. I was about to say goodbye, and then we have like the little fucking credit scene, blah blah blah. Where can we follow you on social media?
Oh, all right. So, God, I really make this difficult. Instagram at Kyle Levy 123, Twitter at Kyle Levy TV. That's really it. I have a TikTok. Don't worry, I'm not on TikTok really. So Instagram and Twitter. That's really it. Hit me up. Give me the follow.
Levy is Levy.
Yeah, Levy. I admit it should be Levy. Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Yes, I was gonna make that joke earlier. That's fucking awesome. Yep. All right, bitches. We'll see you guys later.
Woo.